Hello, my beautiful friends. Welcome to Maloka de Iguaque. This wonderful place in this precious sacred mountain in the center of Colombia is placed exactly in front of Iguaque National Park that is there. These beautiful mountains where there is the sacred lake of Muisca people, the sacred lake of Iguaque. This place was created for the connection with the spirit, the connection with the earth, to remember, to be a home, to reconnect our heart with the earth and enjoy of this beautiful peace, this beautiful air, this beautiful pure air, the purest air. The wind, the sacred sunrise in the east, and the dusk, the sunset on the west. It is something that always helps us to reconnect with our peace, with our silence. And it's in the moments of silence where we really can remember what are we doing here on this earth. How can we remember what are we doing here on this place? What are we doing on life? We are exposed every day to a lot of noise and a lot of overwhelming informations in the phone, in the computer, all the frequencies of the electronical stuff that we use today is affecting our energetic field, our field of energy. Sometimes this energetic electromagnetic field that surrounds us can be a little bit affected for all these frequencies that we are receiving all the time. All the time we are receiving this kind of energies, and we are completely exposed to that every day in the cities. And it's always recommended, and it's always, especially for our health, what we want to do in our lives. It's a good question that we can ask to ourselves every day. Of course, the most important thing is to remember. The most important thing is to remember every day when we just wake up, we open our eyes to a new day. There is a whole new opportunity, a whole new chance, another 24 hours of opportunities every second, every minute to breathe, to be alive. If we can get used to do this kind of practices, that at some point it will be part of our lives, that we open our eyes and we start to remember how lucky we are to continue here living, because many people every day they don't have that chance anymore. So if we can, from the beginning of the day, we can wake up, open our eyes and be in this state of gratitude, this state of gratitude for a new day, for another day that we can be here and love our beloved ones and make our dreams come true. So how can we know which ones are our dreams? What we want to do here when we wake up? What is what we really want what we really want. And in my experience, because I'm living in this kind of places, connecting with the forest, with the water, with the mountains, with the flowers, with the birds, with all the animals, with the trees. The trees they have a very special way to help us in life, because they have a special frequency that when you are close to a tree and you are sitting beside the tree, you can start to feel some kind of peace. You start to feel some kind of relaxing. It's a relaxing mode you start to enter. I experienced that so many times. That's why I like to share all these things that I experienced by myself, because I'm living in this kind of very, very natural places from many years. So I had the chance to understand what it is about the connection with nature that help us for real to be healthy and to remember how precious we are, how lucky we are, how fortunate we are to be here. And one of the most important things, maybe is the most important thing we are doing here in this sacred temple of remembering, of connecting with the memory of our spirit, and we want to share with everyone, is the connection with the silence and with the nature, with this magical gift that we have everywhere. And if we start to understand that we can heal ourselves, we really can heal ourselves through silence, through reconnection with the heart, with love, with the inspiration of spirit, of the angels, and all the guidance we have all around. Even the trees are talking. The animals are bringing us lots of messages all the time, how they can flow in life without too many worries. And we can learn a lot about animals and trees. We can learn a lot with the plants. We can learn a lot from ourselves, listening in silence of a meditation. There is a word, there is a very used word for something. There is some kind of space, there is some kind of space that we allow inside ourselves. We don't want to be rushing, just doing things, thinking, doing, thinking. It's all the time. And of course it's necessary. We have to do things and we have to think. But in the middle of that, there is always this inspiration that we only find when we learn how it works with the silence. Then we can use it all the time, because when you recognize how it works in the beginning, and it's always doing space, because if we are overwhelmed by thoughts, and if we are overwhelmed by things to do all day, non-stopping, we don't make space never to receive a new message, a new inspiration that most of the times comes from our connection with the universe, with God, or with whatever that is the word we want to use. But there is a connection with a higher intelligence. And it's something so beautiful to experience, because you start to realize of many other things that maybe we don't think very often. You start to realize how love is the most important thing. So if we understand how really love is, how really love works, we will be having much less problems than we have now with everyone, with our family, with our work, with our all the activities in the daily stuff. If we understand and we start to connect much more with love, and we start to move every step based on this love, everything starts to change. Everything will be less stressing, of course, because we are not in need of people that act or that made the things or they think like us. When we understand what is love, we start to become unconditional. We don't need that everyone do anything exactly as we need or exactly as we think that the things are. So we start to accept. That is the most important step in the middle of this process. We start to accept. We start to accept them as they are. And we have to understand that everyone is completely different than us. We cannot expect that everyone is doing the things and saying the same things as we would like, or that they treat us in a certain way that we are expecting. So when we are expecting some kind of behaviors of words or conditions, if we have to understand each other in a way of acceptance and allowing to flow as we are, we don't need to change nothing. We have to be as we are, and we have to accept our beautiful beings that surround us, and even everyone in the streets and everyone everywhere. We have to accept as they are. If we really want to make changes about it, there are some other ways to do big changes on earth, but not forcing anyone, because it's completely useless. So when we start to learn about acceptance and compassion and how to feel first, how to feel in peace with ourselves first, I think that is the first step. When we start to know ourselves and accept ourselves as we are, and even if we need to forgive things that we think that we have to forgive about ourselves, and don't be the judge too strong with ourselves. So we are as we are, is what it is what we are. So we can be happy and smile and go forward. And is one of the most important steps. They are in the beginning, when we really start to reach this point when we don't need to struggle anymore, and we don't have to argue with anyone. We don't have to argue with anyone. We don't have to fight with anyone, because it's completely useless. And when we are in peace, everything starts to change around us without too much effort, because it's our own energy field that is sending a like a signal that start to create some kind of resonance and start to make like a call to our reality. It's like something that is spreading everywhere and is exactly from our hearts at this point of our bodies. This is the most powerful Wi-Fi, we could say, is some kind of Wi-Fi device that start to send the signal. And we are doing that all the time, even if we don't believe in it, or if we don't think about it. It's something that is going on all the time. So if we want to make big changes in our reality and Earth, we know that there is a lot of suffering in the world. There is a lot of people suffering in many levels, and wars and not nice things is happening all the time. So if we really want to make changes about it, we have to understand that the first step is on us. If we change, everything around us start to change, because we have wars even in our home with our family. So think about it. If we cannot bring relief to our hearts and to our minds, and we cannot stop the wars, the little wars, to say in a way, in our house, in our own home, with our own family, because it's happening all the time. We fight in between the couples and parents and the kids, and everywhere. You can see it everywhere. So in the moment when we start to spread peace, spread relaxing things from our hearts, and we start to talk in a proper way, with love, with kindness. If we check about every little single word that we say every time, we have to check well what we are saying, because sometimes we talk in a bad way to people. So if we talk in a mean way, or in a not nice way, not kind way to people, it's very possible this is not going to be nice back. Most of the time people receive the stress and give back more stress. It's like a reaction. So if we start to be kind, be more kind, just this little thing that is huge. If we start to talk from love, even if we are surrounded by problems and by many difficult things, I know that it's not easy, but it's not impossible. If we really connect with that and we do it every time, even if it's a little, very small step every day in that direction, to be kinder, to talk from kindness, from compassion, from understanding, when we can. If we can, that is the point. When we can and we are relaxed, we have to do it, because it's the way we could change our Earth in that way. Because it's like it's a net that is spreading. So if you spread love to your beloved ones around you, to the closest people around you, there will be a vortex of beautiful energy that will be created, and it will start to grow. And it can start to grow and grow and grow and spread and spread. And that is something that has been proven many times with many different scientific experiments, and they have measured that. That kind of information that kind of information is what we like to share here in Maloka de Iguaque, because there are so many things going on that we don't listen almost never anywhere, not in the news, maybe sometimes by our friends, some of our friends, and some people. We can listen about all the good news, all the beautiful things that there are going on earth, and many people that is like maybe you and me, we are interested on how can this place could be better in some kind of way, even if it's a small thing that we can do. We are here for that. It's one of our first things here. We are here to add something good, not to add confusion and more struggles and more trouble and problems and fighting. And so we can really add to earth many beautiful things. And we are here in Maloka de Iguaque. We are very interested on that. And there are so many things that we would like to share. We really would like to share. And for sure we are gonna doing it in this kind of videos here on our sites, our pages. But it's not only the information. It's not only information that you understand with the mind. It's something that is much better when you can really experience it. And to start with that process, that is always a beautiful idea, to go in a natural place when there is silence and you can really go inside yourself and relax for a while. We created this kind of retreats exactly for that, because it's normally like 3 or 4 days that we are in this place, connecting with the silence, with the night, with day, with the wind, with the water especially, because here is a sacred sanctuary of water, that you can even drink it from the river, because it's so pure and so full of minerals, straight from the mountains, lakes, to this point, and everywhere. So there is a very specific pure energy here. That is something that is really, really helpful. And it's possible that in the beginning it can feel a little bit strange and weird, so much silence and so much a different thing from what we do every day, because we are so used to do things every day. We have to do millions of things every day, doing, and we don't stop any second during the day. So when you get the chance to go in some kind of these retreats, like the ones we offer here, we offer this place for that. It's not that we are not offering lots of informations and more things to do. What is the most important thing? The most important thing that we are offering here is the chance to be completely in silence, connected with the earth, connected with the nature, with the river, stopping for a while with the devices and outer connections, and start to go to have the chance to listen to yourself. Even in the beginning there will be a lot of talks and things, because this machine is so programmed to be completely active all the time in only one direction of the daily stuff. But this machine is so powerful that it works for everything. So when you start to add some information to this machine and reprogram this machine, that is a computer, when you start to reprogram your computer in the direction of the commands of the tasks you want to give to the computer, so you will start to understand how it works. It's only like to reprogram, to use it in another different way, and it can be so much creative, to have new perspectives of life, and we can add much more. We can add different things and offer different things to another people, to help the world or to help ourselves with a new, different perspective of life, where we don't have to be stressed all the time. It's not necessary to be stressed all the time. It's very important to understand through experience and to understand by ourselves something that comes from our own language. Because when we start to reconnect with us in the deepest levels, you have to recognize, you start to recognize your own way of understanding. That is very important, because we can understand, sometimes we cannot understand well or in the best way. We cannot understand many times as other people do, because it's like another perspective they have and they understand by themselves. But when we start to connect with our own guidance, that is connected with the biggest guidance and the biggest consciousness and awareness, so it's like something that is very specific for us. For every one of us, we have specific things to do and to make here, and we have so many different ways of and talents and ways to do our things, that we could find inside ourselves new ways for us, and maybe to share with the others from love and from kindness. So this is my message for today, that comes from I don't know exactly where, to invite you to experience your own self. And one of the best ways is simple to go to nature and reconnect with the pure energy of the places. And you will have to experience by yourself many things, only with breathing, closing your eyes, just breathing slow and deep, and relax every part of your body, that everything is relaxed. And you start to feel more comfortable. You start to feel immediately much better. Breathing is our first thing, is what keeps us here alive. So only that is a powerful thing. So I hug you, everyone, from here, from Maloka, the Iguaque. Thank you very much.